What is up? How are you now? Hope you're having a good one. So, it appears like gaming's favorite couple may not get married after all. Microvision, Actisoft, whatever you want to call them, doesn't matter. It looks like they've met a hiccup in the merger that's going to set them back, but it may not stop the merger completely. They still have options, but I also think there's a bit of hypocrisy going on in the whole efforts to block Microsoft and Activision from merging due to a purchase made by Microsoft not that long ago. Up until recently, Microsoft had a plan to merge with Activision. Microsoft was planning on having to do this merger without the American Trade Commission's approval, but they were banking on the European Commission's CMA to approve of the transition, allowing Microsoft to say in court that all these other countries that include Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Serbia, Chile, Japan, and South Africa, they were going to go to court in the US system if the FTC tried to block it, saying that them, along with the CMA, all approved it, so the FTC's arguments against allowing this merger don't necessarily track or are over-exaggerated within the FTC's approval process. But last week, CMA decided to go against Microsoft in the merger, setting it up for a much harder fight. Now, the reason I say there's some hypocrisy in this whole situation is the people who brought the case against the merger to the FTC and other organizations was spearheaded by Sony. Obviously, Sony is a direct competitor in the gaming space. Because of this, a merger of such a large studio to the gaming company itself poses potential threats or risk to Sony's overall market. They have legitimate concerns there. However, the hypocrisy comes in the fact that we can't pretend that Sony hasn't been buying up studios longer than Microsoft and racked up big names within their game developers' portfolio, and it all, in my opinion, started with kind of a personal attack with the acquisition of Bungie. Once Sony acquired Bungie, which was a staple in the Microsoft gaming space, it kind of became a personal thing, and all of a sudden, more and more exclusives were kind of sucked up by Sony. So Microsoft has to respond. But in that response, Microsoft has also said that they have no intentions of keeping some of Activision's IP or games from the open market, to include the Call of Duty series, which is probably one of the largest concerns within the whole deal. The deal may not be dead, and Microsoft still has ways to make the merger work. They were given options by the CMA of potential resolutions to this whole merger system, and some of those resolutions include Activision itself isn't part of the merger. They split off Activision. Microsoft gets to keep Blizzard, but that would cost a lot of renegotiation in the price, because obviously you're not going to pay the price that you paid for Activision and Blizzard for just Blizzard. And one of the other resolutions includes allowing the Call of Duty franchise to be split out of the deal by itself, allowing the rest of Activision and Blizzard to be part of the deal. That may be the path of least resistance for Microsoft. If you really think about it, Call of Duty is a big part of Activision, but it's not the only part of Activision, and that would allow the deal to get approved by the CMA, and then if the FTC doesn't take that deal, Microsoft still has the same arguments that all the other countries approve, so we should be able to proceed with or without the FTC, and we're kind of being targeted by the FTC at this point. We'll see if Microsoft takes any of that up, or if they go the hard path, because at the end of the day, Microsoft can just hammer down into the court systems and try to push it through without FTC approval and without CMA approval, using the arguments that other nation trading commissions agreed to this merger, so it doesn't make sense why these two are trying to block it. Which leads me back to the point that this is a situation that feels very much like, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If Sony has been allowed to acquire as much as they have, granted they haven't gone for a company as big as Activision, but if Sony Sony's been allowed to acquire all these studios over time, blocking Microsoft from doing the same thing for similar reasons to diversify, get exclusives, and honestly, I don't even know that Microsoft wants exclusives. If you really think about it, I think Microsoft wants it so that they can offer discounts to Game Pass subscription members so that they have these high title games on discount compared to their competitors, but they don't want to lose the money by taking it off the market in other areas. I don't know if that's the case, and I can't speak to any of that for sure, but it's just an idea I have because it sounded like Microsoft never had the intention of taking away Call of Duty from PlayStation, PC, or any other markets. It's really just going to be an interesting to watch as we go into the future, but until more details come out, we're kind of stuck wondering how Microsoft is going to respond to all of this. You can subscribe, do this stuff. You want all that? All of that. Hey there, it's Skeg Broggy. Thanks for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and follow me here on Twitch for more awesome content. Link is in the description.